Hare Krishna, welcome everyone to our Chaitanya Caritamrta class. We'll begin with our prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. We are continuing our discussion from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. We are on Madhya Lila, chapter 15, which is entitled The Beautiful Pastimes of the Lord in Jagannath Puri as he accepts prasad at the house of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. So far we have heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is continuing his pastimes in Jagannath Puri, and the daily routine of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is described by Kaviraj Goswami. Every day he would go to temple, take darshan, then he would dance and take prasad. They get darshan of Upal Bhoga. Then he would get prasad, and then he would come to the house of Haridas Thakur, the place of Haridas Thakur, that is Gambhira. He would give prasad to Haridas Thakur. Then he would go back to, well, not Gambhira. Haridas Thakur was staying at Siddhabakul. Sorry. So Mahaprabhu would go to Siddhabakul, and then he would give prasad to Haridas Thakur, and then he would come back to his home at Gambhira. Advaitacharya would come and invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu would accept his invitation, and then Advaitacharya would worship the Lord very nicely with the flower garland, with chandan, with the water. He would offer wonderful hospitality to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and whatever Advaitacharya would offer, if something is remaining, whatever was remaining in the plate of Advaitacharya, Mahaprabhu would worship Advaitacharya with those remaining things. And then in the end, Kaviraj Goswami says the detailed description of the invitation of Advaitacharya is another story altogether. I'll not describe it because Vrindavan Das Thakur has described in detail about that. And then also other devotees would invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu would celebrate various festivals with all the devotees. He would celebrate Janmashtami, he would dress himself as a Gopa, and he would play various games like the Gopas. They would dance and they would play with milk, yogurt, so many things. And then they would celebrate Vijayadashmi, the festival of victory of Lord Ram over Ravana. Then they would celebrate Dipavali, Rasyatra, and similarly other festivals. Now, 4 months went by. Mahaprabhu, he consulted Nityanand Prabhu, and then he made some decision. He told all the devotees to go back to Navadip, to go back to Bengal. He gave different instructions to different devotees. And the discussion between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees That is a very, very wonderful discussion. He instructed Raghav Pandit. He praises Raghav Pandit's devotion for whatever he would offer to the Lord. The purity with which he would offer, the story of the coconuts that is described. Then he gives instruction to Shivananda saying, you please take care of the finances of Vasudeva Datta because he does not know how to save money. And he says, a grihastha is supposed to save money. Grihastha hayya iho chahiye sanchay. Sanchay nahi rahile kutumb bharana kaiche hai. So he says, you please help Vasudeva Datta and make sure that his finances are taken care of. And then another instruction he gives to Shivananda saying, you bring all the devotees to Jagannath Puri every year. So Shivananda Singh was practically sponsoring the yatra of all the Navadvip Vasis. Then Mahaprabhu started talking to Kulinagram Vasis. He said, Gunaraj Khan, he compiled this book, Krishna Vijay. Mahaprabhu glorified that book. Then Satyaraj Khan and Ramananda Vasu, they come and they start asking questions. Wonderful description we heard. Satyaraj Khan asks, Mahaprabhu tells, first instruction he gives is, you should serve a Vaishnava. So naturally, the first question is, Vaishnava Chiniva Kevane. How will I identify who is a Vaishnava? Because Mahaprabhu said, Krishna Seva, Vaishnava Sevan, Nirantara Kar Tumi, Krishna Nama Sankirtan. Please chant, please serve Vaishnava, serve Krishna. So who is a Vaishnava? So then we heard in great detail how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu describes who is a Vaishnava. Prabhu kahe yar mukhe shune ek bar, Krishna naam se pujya shreshta sabakar. If you hear once from a person's mouth, Krishna, understand and accept him as a very wonderful devotee, the topmost amongst the human beings. And we heard the various descriptions of the glories of the Holy Name, how he is Krishna, the names of the Lord are so glorious that it does not require Purashcharya Vidhi and Diksha. So we heard in great detail. So we had completed till verse number 111. So in the 111th verse, Mahaprabhu says, Ateva yar mukhe ek Krishna naam seita Vaishnava kar tahara samman. So we'll continue from verse number 112. Now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he starts talking to Sri Khandavasis. And in that description, the foremost of the Sri Khanda devotees were three of them, as they were mentioned by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he started talking to them first. He paid attention to these three persons, Mukunda Das, Raghunandan, and Sri Narahari Sarkar. They were the inhabitants of Sri Khanda. First, Mahaprabhu, he asked Mukunda, Mukunda, you are the father and your son is Raghunandan? Is it so? Or Raghunandan is the father and you are the son? Can you please tell me? So Mukunda, he very, very wonderfully replies, Raghunandan is my father and I am his son. This is my decision. How can he say that? What is the basis of speaking this statement? Because Raghunandan, everybody knows he's a son. Mukunda is a father. Ama sabar Krishna bhakti Raghunandana hoite, ateva pita Raghunandana amara nishchite. Out of humility, Mukunda, he says, all of us have attained devotion unto Krishna because of Raghunandan. Raghunandan, we have heard in various stories about the glories of Raghunandan. As he was offering, so one day, Mukunda, he had to go for some work. He told his wife that today, please give bhoga to Raghunandan and he will do the offering. So mother, she made the whole plate of bhoga and told Raghunandan, please go and offer the food to the Lord, bhoga to the Lord in the deity room. So Raghunandan, as a small boy, he goes and he puts the plates in front of the Lord and says, Lord, please eat. And he was waiting for the Lord to eat. And Lord didn't eat. He started crying. Oh Lord, every day my father offers and you eat. Now today I'm offering, you are not eating. My mother will chastise me. Seeing the simplicity and innocence of the small boy, Lord spoke. I have already eaten, I eat by my eyes. Raghunandan, as a small boy, says, I don't understand all this philosophy. You eat as we eat. So Lord starts eating. And then Raghunandan comes out with an empty plate. And then his mother asks, where is the prasad? She says, Prasad, kai kaun sa prasad? Lord ate everything. So mother didn't say anything because she knew the child is special. He's not an ordinary one. Father returned and she told everything. He asked for prasad. She said, there is no prasad today. The prasad is all gone. She told the whole thing. Mukunda said, okay, you do one thing, you again cook, you again give him to offer the Lord, offer the food to the Lord. Bhoga. At this time, Mukunda was seeing secretly from the keyhole. He saw Mukunda, Raghunandan, he again went, kept the plate in front of the Lord and said, oh Lord, please eat. And as usual, Lord didn't eat. He started crying again, oh Lord, why are you not eating? Again, Lord, aham bhakta paradino nahi aswatantraiva dvija sadhuvir grasta hridayam bhaktair bhakta janapriya. Is controlled by the love of his devotees. He started eating, and as he is eating, Mukunda, he could not contain himself. He started shouting, I've seen, and the Lord stopped. That was the devotion of Raghunandan. So Mukunda, out of his humility, he is saying, Ama sabar Krishna Bhakti Raghunandan hoite. All of us have attained devotion because of Raghunandan. Ateva Pita Raghunandan Amarya Nishchite. Therefore, my opinion is Raghunandan is my father. This is a principle of humility. This is a principle of giving credit to whoever who inspires us in the practice of devotion. A devotee never thinks that I deserve this. I'm such a great devotee. What will this devotee teach me? I'm practicing since so many decades now. Oh, yes, come just 1, 2 years before. What can he tell me? How can he inspire me or she inspire me? A devotee is Saragrahi. He's always seeking the essence, getting inspired from whoever. One day, Bharang Prabhu was telling one of our very senior devotees that the young person gives enthusiasm to the old, and the old gives patience, teaches patience to the young one. Young devotees, they are very, very enthusiastic. Of course, old devotees are also enthusiastic. But the enthusiasm of the young ones, young devotees are, a little extra. They are bubbling with enthusiasm because for them everything is new. So seeing them, the old devotees also get inspired. One of our very senior devotee was telling once that I like to be with young devotees also more because seeing them, I get more enthusiasm. They're so enthusiastic to do everything. And sometimes the enthusiasm of the young devotees doesn't last long. Then they start thinking, what nothing is happening. I have my same anartha, same conditionings. And then enthusiasm goes down. The stage of utsahamai, the sine wave, sometimes up, sometimes down. That time, the old devotees, they give patience. They teach young ones, please be patient. Dhairya is a very important part of bhakti. We can't expect miracles overnight. So everybody can learn something from other devotees. It is not that, no, I don't need anything to learn. So he says, Ataiva Pita Amasabar Krishna Bhakti Raghunandana Huite. Because of Raghunandan, all of us have attained devotion. That means they are so very inspired to practice bhakti because of the simplicity and innocence of Raghunandan. That is how we should be always. Trying to see the essence, try to see the good qualities in every devotee and try to imbibe that. Satamayam sarabhritam nisargo yadarthavani shruti chetasamapि pratikshanam navyavadachyatasyat striya vitanamiva sadhu varta. Bhagavatam says, the devotees of the Lord, Satam, they are sarabhritam, they are the seekers of essence. Yadarthavani shruti chetasamapि, with their mind, body, words, wealth. They are always absorbed in hearing the Harikatha. For them, Krishna Katha is always fresh. They are always enthusiastic. Pratikshanam navyavadachyutasya. For them, the pastimes of Krishna, they are always new. Just like for a materialistic person, topics of women are so very attractive, always new. They can keep on talking a whole day about women. Similarly, devotees, they can keep on talking about Krishna whole day. So that's how we have to learn to see good qualities in everyone and learning. So Raghunandan is a small boy and Mukund says, no, no, he is my father. What is a expression of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on hearing this? Shuni harshe kahe Prabhu kahile nishchaye yaha haite Krishna bhakti sei guru hai. Mahaprabhu, he became very happy. He said, yes, this is correct. Shuni harshe, Mahaprabhu became very happy and he said, yes, it is correct. What is correct? Yaha hoite Krishna bhakti sei guru hoye. Whoever inspires us in the practice of devotion, we should accept that person as guru. Siksha gurus. We can have hundreds of Shiksha gurus, but one Diksha guru. We can get inspiration from anyone. Even Prath Pradarshak Guru, he is also guru. One time, Ramanujacharya was traveling from Srirangam to Tirupati. And on the way, he asked one very simple man, which way is Tirupati? And he just showed him the direction. Ramanuja offered his obeisances. He says, he is my Path Pradarshak Guru. So that's a devotee. Always gives credit to others for whatever they have. Bhakter Mahima Prabhu kahite paye sukh. Bhakter Mahima kahite hai panchamukh. Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are always happy speaking about the glories of the devotees. Bhaktera Mahima kahite paye sukh. Whenever Mahaprabhu speaks the glories of devotees, he becomes really happy. He speaks the glories as if he has 5 mouths. It's so difficult to glorify devotees. It is so difficult to glorify others because our ego doesn't allow it. We can't see the good qualities of others so much. The more we get purified, the more we become non-envious, the more we will see good qualities of other devotees. That is an art we have to learn. Even if we don't feel like glorifying, we should still glorify the devotees. Because that attracts the attention of the Lord. There's a bee mentality and a fly mentality. Fly, even if you leave a fly in the midst of flower garden, it will go and search for some garbage in some corner. And the honeybee, even if you leave the honeybee in the middle of the garbage, honeybee will fly, it will find one flower somewhere in the corner of that garbage. As a devotee, we should learn to see good in others because Krishna wants to see good in others. He is Adoshadarshi. There are 2 names of the Lord. He is It is described that he has his eyes closed, nimisha and animisha. Nimisha means one whose eyes are closed. Animisha, one whose eyes are never closed. Whenever Lord sees some faults in his devotees, he closes his eyes. He doesn't want to see faults in his devotees. And when he sees some good qualities in his devotees, he never closes his eyes. He's always happy seeing that good quality. There are 8 types of people according to their vision. One person is asadhutar. Asadhu, first we'll take the lowest one. Lowest one is ati asadhutam. Ati asadhutam means that person, he finds faults even if there are no faults. Ati asadhutam, he's the lowest. Even if there is no fault in a person, he'll find, as it is said, para dvesh avishkaranam, para dosh avishkaranam. They invent faults in others. That is ati asadhutam. Just like Amoga finding fault in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh, he's eating too much. He's a sannyasi, he's eating too much. Ati asadhutam. Then, little better is asadhutam. He sees small fault and magnifies it. In the case of Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa Muni, although it was not an apparent fault, but Ambarish Maharaj, he took little water. That too, after taking permission from the saintly people. Durvasa Muni, he saw that this is a fault and he magnified it. Such a huge mistake. Higher than that person is asadhutar. Asadhutar means that person, he sees only faults. He'll not see a good quality. He'll see only a fault in the person. Whatever fault is there, he'll see only that. He'll not see the good qualities. For example, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, he himself gives the example. He says, oh, this sannyasi is eating ghee rice to fill his stomach. He is lusty and should be considered fallen. He is just seeing, oh, he is eating too much. That is asadhutar. And the next is asadhu. Asadhu means he will see faults and he will see good qualities, but he will focus on the good qualities and he will say that, oh, these qualities will not last long. It is just for the matter of time. It's like, when somebody becomes devotee and some people say this, they say, oh, he is going to temple and is doing all this. Oh, it will not last long. He's just making a show. They can't handle somebody exhibiting good qualities. So that is the negative side. Now, the positive side. Some people are called Mahat. Mahat means even if there are faults in that person, a person will see that the fault can be eventually transformed into some good quality. That is a Mahat. Just like, the story of Haridas Prabhu who left a few months back. He was a thief. And ultimately, he became attracted to Srila Prabhupada. He joined. But because of his habit of stealing at night, he could not sleep. So he went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, everybody is sleeping, but I can't sleep at night because I have this habit of stealing at night. Prabhupada said, don't worry. I'll give you a seva. That time Prabhupada was in Juhu land. He said, around this Juhu land, there are so many dogs. They keep barking. And as I'm translating whole night, so Krishna said, whoa, 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 whoa. This sound enters. So what you do is, you chase away the dogs. That is your seva. So he saw some fault, but he engaged that into something good. That is Mahat. Mahattar means he sees a fault and he sees good, but he overlooks the fault and he sees the good, focuses on the good. That is a Mahattar. It's like one time one life member came to Srila Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have heard your disciples pronouncing shlokas. Their pronunciation is not good. Prabhupada said, their pronunciation is not good, but their renunciation is very good. So that is Mahattar. He overlooks the fault, sees the good. Another person came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, Swamiji, I was sitting in the class and I saw all your disciples were sleeping all the time. Was it all the time? He said 95% of the time they were sleeping. Prabhupada said, just see, by hearing only 5%, they have changed so much. What have you done by hearing the entire class? What change has come in you? That was Srila Prabhupada, focusing on good quality. Next level is Mahattam. He takes small good quality and magnifies it. He'll never see the fault. He will see small good quality and he'll magnify it. And highest is Ati Mahattam. Ati Mahattam means he will see good quality even if there is none. There's a famous story of a hippie who came to Srila Prabhupada, who would take morning walks. As they were walking in a park, there was one hippie, completely dirty, had not bathed for months maybe. He came and he fell at the feet of Prabhupada and said, please give me shelter. Prabhupada mercifully, he said, okay, please come with us. And everybody was thinking why Prabhupada allowed him to come. And this person, he would just lay down in the passage. He would not do any seva. He would just sit there or lie down there. Just wanted to be in temple, nothing else. And Prabhupada left after a few days, and these devotees, they wrote, Prabhupada, this person is not doing any seva, and he's just lying down in the passage, and people, they see him in the passage as they come out or come inside the temple. He's creating a bad impression. Prabhupada said, just tolerate him as I have tolerated you. Devotees would call him Crazy Peter. His name was Peter. Years passed by. Giriraj Maharaj, he tells, 20 years passed by. After 20 years, Giriraj Maharaj was in New Vrindavan and in Mangalarti. And he saw in Mangalarti the same Crazy Peter, dressed nicely, dhoti kurta, shaven head. He asked one devotee, who is that person? He said, Maharaj, you don't know? He is Kushakrat Prabhu. And Giriraj Maharaj remembered, Kushakrat Prabhu is a very famous personality in ISKCON that time because he translated so many Gaudiya literatures into English. So many Acharya's commentaries from Sanskrit to English. That is the glory of Srila Prabhupada. Adi Mahattam, he saw good even if there was none. Just like Krishna. When Putana came to kill him, what was he thinking? Putana loka balakni rakshashe rudirasana jigham sayapi hariye stanam dattva sadgatim. She came to kill Krishna. But because she dressed herself as a mother and she fed Krishna with her milk, which was poisoned. Lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonyam kamva dayalum sharanam brajema. He gave her the position of Dhatri in the spiritual world. Who can be more merciful than Krishna? Brahmaji, in his prayers, he is getting really bewildered. He says, what is remaining for you to give to all the Brajvasis? The lady, the demoness who came to kill you, she came in the dress of a devotee and you gave her the position of mother. What will you give to your Brajvasis who have given everything for you? Sadveshadivaputanapi sakula tvameva deva pita yadhamartha surit priyatmatanaya pranashayastvat. Sadvesha, she came in the role of a devotee, Putana. You delivered her along with her entire dynasty, Sakula. अरे क्या बच गया आपके पास ब्रजवासियों को देने के लिए? They have given धाम अर्थ सुरित प्रिय आत्म तनय प्राण सब दे दिए आपके लिए. Their homes, their you are their well-wisher, you are their relative. They have given their wealth for you. They have given their lives for you. सब कुछ दे दिए. That is Ati Mahattam. So, at least we should learn to see good in others. Never ever try to find faults in others. Because Mahaprabhu doesn't like, Krishna doesn't like. Bhaktera Mahima Prabhu kahite paye sukh. Bhaktera Mahima kahite hoye panchamukh. He would glorify his devotees as if he had 5 mouths. So at least we can use our one mouth to glorify devotees, whatever we can. Never ever try to find faults. Yeah, and even if there is a fault in a devotee, if we have nothing to do with that devotee, we should not discuss that fault. It is so very difficult not to discuss faults of others because it is so very ingrained in us, like that fly trying to sit on the filthy things. The more a devotee gets purified, the more one likes to glorify others and is really averse to finding faults in others. Bhakta gane kahe shun mukundera prem nigod nirmala prem yena dagdhem. Now Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started glorifying the devotional service of Mukunda. Bhakta gane kahe shun, please hear the love of Mukunda. The love of Mukunda is nigud nirmala yena dagdhem. It is very deep and it is pure, like a molten gold, dagdhem, purified gold, no faults. बाह्ये राज्य वेद्यो करे राज सेवा अंतरे कृष्ण प्रेम इहार जानी बेक के बा. This Mukunda, externally in the external world, he is a physician and he's physician in the court of the king. But internally, Antare Krishna Prema Iha Jani Beka Keba. Who can understand the love which he has in his heart? So that is a devotee. He knows he's expert in worldly dealings. He knows where to exhibit the devotion and where to be very, very firm, where to be worldly wise and where to deal in a devotional way. Devotee is very, very practical at the same time devotional. We should not live in the world as if people will think we can exploit him or her because he is a very simple, foolish type of person. He is a devotee. We can do anything with him. No, a devotee is expert. One of the quality of a devotee is expert. Daksha. He is expert in dealings. So Mukunda, externally, he would be like a normal physician. Internally, he had deep love for Krishna, just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, ब्रह्मण्यादाय कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यतेन स पापेन पद्मपत्रमिवाम्भसा. Become like a lotus leaf, O Arjun. The lotus leaf is in the water but not touched by water. That is a devotee. Be in the world but not of this world. Srila Prabhupada describes, unless Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals, nobody can understand the quality of a devotee because many times devotees, they behave in a way which looks very ordinary and people may not understand, and even they may get bewildered. Tara, vai, Tara Vakya Kriya Mudra Vigyeha na Bujhaye. Nobody can understand the Vakya, Kriya, and Mudra. Nobody can understand the activities and the statements of devotees. So, therefore, what we should do? We should just accept their activities and don't try to judge them if it is not in our circle of influence. If we can do something about it, if that person's devotee's behavior is affecting others, and if we can do something about it, please do it. Otherwise, just go and tell some superiors that this is what I am seeing. Can you please do something? Never ever judge. As it is said, judge not lest you'll be judged. So therefore, it is very, very important. As Rupa Goswami describes in Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. Drishtai स्वभावजनितैः वपुषश्च दोषैः न प्राकृतत्वमिह भक्तजनस्य पश्येत् गङ्गां भसां न खलु बुद्बुदफेन पङ्कैः ब्रह्मद्रवत्वमपगच्छति नीरधर्मैः. Just like if somebody enters Ganga and the Ganga is full of mud, dirt, bubbles, foam, some dirt floating, a devotee who knows the glories of Ganga is not affected by the dirt which is floating. The devotee will just move away the dirt and take bath in them. Gangam bhasam nakalu buddhena pankai. Similarly, one should not see a devotee from the external point of view. Drishtai swabhava janitai vapushascha dosha. The dosha, the fault which is arising because of the bodily constitution, because of the swabhava, one should never take it seriously. Some devotees have some idiosyncrasies, the way they work, the way they speak. We should never get confused. We should never criticize them, offend them. Prabhupada writes, Tara Vakya Kriya Mudra Vigyeha na Bujhai. Externally, he was a great physician, but internally, he was a most liberated Paramhamsa. And Mahaprabhu, he knew this very well. Nobody else could understand this. Mahaprabhu is now revealing to the whole world. One day, this Mukunda, he was in the palace of the king, was seated on a high platform. And Mukunda Dutt was discussing with him about his health. As they were conversing, a servant came and he brought a peacock feather canopy to protect the king from the sun. He kept that canopy over the head of the king. And Mukunda, as he looked at that peacock feather, he went into ecstasy. He became absorbed in ecstatic love of Krishna. He remembered Krishna wearing the peacock feather. He fell down from that high platform. And as he fell down, the king was surprised, shocked. What happened to the physician? He feared as if he is dead. He personally came down and he brought him to consciousness. And he asked, what happened? What is it that paining you? Why are you, behaving like this? Is there a problem? He says, no, I'm not very much pained, but the problem is, So the king asks, then what happened? He said, actually, he didn't want to tell, I was experiencing static symptoms. He said, I have a disease called as epilepsy. That's why I fell down. But the king was very expert and intelligent. Seeing the external behavior of Mukunda, he understood this Mukunda is the most common, exalted, liberated personality. Even our Yavana could understand this. That was the glory of Mukunda Sarkar. And then he spoke about Raghunandan. Raghunandan, he is constantly engaged in serving the lotus feet of Krishna. And the the place where he serves Krishna, there is a temple beside. There is a temple, and besides the temple, there is a lake. On the bank of the lake, there is a kadamba tree, and this kadamba tree delivers two flowers every day. And Raghunandan worships the Lord with these flowers. Such a wonderful devotee. And then Mahaprabhu gives instructions to all three of them, Mukunda, Raghunandan, and Narhari. He says, Mukunda, your duty is to earn both spiritual and material wealth. That is the first instruction which he gives to Mukunda. He says, you please earn material wealth and spiritual wealth also, not just material, spiritual, because he was a great devotee. And because he was a householder, Mahaprabhu gave him this instruction. Material wealth and spiritual wealth, because a devotee uses all his spiritual material wealth only in service of Krishna. That is the principle of Yukta Vairagya a devotee follows always. And then he gives an order to Raghunandan. Raghunandan, you always engage in Krishna's Lord Krishna's service. And then he gives order to Narhari. I wish that you remain here with my devotees. In this way, he told to execute these three people, he gave different duties, different services. Srila Prabhupada writes. Mukunda, his duty was to earn money and follow religious principles. Narhari Sarkar, his duty was to remain with devotees. And Raghunandan, his seva was to serve the Lord. So Prabhupada writes, one worships the Lord, other earns money, and another person does the preaching. Mahaprabhu gave different duties to different personalities according to their inclinations. Prabhupada said, externally, these seva, these services, they look different. But internally, their aim is one, their goal is one, to please the Lord. So I should not judge the services. We should be attached to serving, not to service. Whatever service is given, of course, in due course of time, according to the nature we have, according to the inclinations we have, we should try to do that service. But if some other service is given, we should, of course, execute that service to whatever capacity we have, to the best of our capacity. One time, one devotee was telling, the services which we are told to do, they purify us. Services which we have to do, they sustain us. Services which we like to do, they nourish us. So there are some services which we are told to do by our authorities, by seniors. They purify our false ego. They purify us of our lethargy. Some things which we have to do, like our chanting, they sustain us in the practice of devotional service. But there are some things which we like to do. Those things nourish us. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave different instructions to different devotees according to their inclinations, their nature. So Prabhupada writes, apparently these three types of services appear separate, but actually they are not. Because by all these services, one is supposed to serve and please Krishna. Now, after this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he meets Sarabham Bhattacharya and Vidya Vachaspati, the two brothers. He says, Daru Jal Rupe Krishna Prakata Samprati Darshana Snana Kore Jivera Mukati. Krishna appears in this world in two forms, Daru Brahma and Jala, in the form of water, and in the form of a wood. Darshana snane kore jivera mukati. Whoever takes darshan of the Lord and takes bath in the water, he gets purified. What is that water? What is that form? Daru Brahma Rupe Shaksha Shri Purushottam Bhagirathi Hana Saksha Jala Brahmasam. Very, very important verse Mahaprabhu is revealing. Daru Brahma, Lord Jagannath in the form of Daru Brahma, he is Purushottam, and Mother Ganga, she is Jala Brahma. She is himself, she is herself the form of the Lord. Prabhupada writes, of course, everything is emanating from the Lord only. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Everything is coming from the Supreme Lord. He quotes another verse. Parasya Brahmana Shakti Tathedam Akhilam Jagat. Everything is manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Brahman. Whatever comes is manifestation of the Supreme Lord. Maya Tadam Nidam Sarvam Jagadabhyakta Murtina Matsthani Sarva Bhutani Nachaham Teshavastitaha. In my unmanifested form, I enter everything in this universe. So he gave different instructions. He told Sarvam Bhattacharya, you worship Daru Brahma, and Vidya Vachaspati, you worship Ganga Devi. And then he turns to Murari Gupta and he reveals the whole world, the glorious devotional service of Murari Gupta. पूर्वे आमी हरे लो भाईला बार बार परम मधुर गुप्त ब्रजेंद्र kumar. Now Mahaprabhu is telling, in the past I tried to allure him again and again by glorifying Krishna. I told him Krishna is parama madhur, he is a supreme sweetness, he is Gupta Brajendra Kumar, he is the supreme sweetness, he is a Brajendra Nandan. Oh Gupta, oh my dear Gupta. Swayam Bhagavan Krishna Sarvamshi Sarvashraya Vishuddha Nirmala Prema Sarvarasamaya. Krishna, he is Sarvamshi, Sarva Ashray, he is the origin of all incarnations. Sarva Amshi, he is Amshi, he is the source of all Amshas, and he is the source of everything. And he is Vishuddha, Nirmala, Prem, he is pure transcendental love himself. Vibhu, Sarva Rasamaya, he is a embodiment of all rasas, he is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. Everything comes from him only. He is epitome of all rasa. Sakala Sadguna Vrinda Ratna Ratnakar Vidagda Chaturadhir Rasika Shekhar. So he says, Sakala Sadguna Vrinda. He is the abode of all the good qualities. Ratna Ratnakar. He is like a jewel. He is like mine of gems. As Kaviraj Goswami also describes in one of the verses, Sarita Madhurya Saranya Siddhi Nahitar Tiho Madhuryadi Gunakhani. He is an immutable mind of all the transcendental qualities. Madhuryadi Gunakhani. So Mahaprabhu also tells her he is Ratna Ratnakar, Vidagda Chatur Dhir Rasika Shekhar. He is expert, he is clever, he is sober, he is Rasik Shekhar, he is summit of all the transcendental humors. Madhura Charita Krishnera Madhura Vilas, Chatura Vaidagdya Kore Yara Lila Ras. His character is very sweet. Madhura Charitra. He is Madhura Vilas, his pastimes are all melodious. He is expert in his intelligence. He is enjoying all the wonderful pastimes. His pastimes are in various rasas. He has his friends, he has his girlfriends, he has his mother, parents, servants, everything he has. And then he requested Murari Gupta, please worship Krishna. Please take shelter of him. Because when you serve him, Nothing else will appeal to your mind. That is the natural outcome of a devotee whose heart is absorbed in Krishna's service. Nothing else appeals to him, only seva. A devotee is not interested even in liberation if there is no seva. Seva attracts. Salukya, Sarishti, Samipya, Sarupya, Ekatva, Apyuta, Diyamanam, Nagrihanti, Vinamat Sevanam Jana. Lord Kapiladev is telling my devotee never accepts even liberation if there is no service there. So please worship Krishna. Mahaprabhu tells. He heard me again and again. And by my influence, his mind was changed a little bit. He came back, he went back to his home that night. And he actually said, I'm your order carrier, whatever you say, I'll do it. He went back. Whole night he was thinking. He could not sleep whole night. His mind was really overwhelmed. He was crying whole night. He was thinking, how can I give up association of Raghunath? And then he began to pray. Oh Lord, death should come this night because how can I leave your service? And how can I disobey the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Next morning, Mahaprabhu says he came to me and he made a request. Please allow me to die before you. Raghunather pai mui vechiya cho matha, kadite na pari matha, mane pai vyatha. Very beautifully, he's revealing his heart. Raghunather pai mui vechiya cho matha. I have sold my head unto the lotus feet of Raghunath. Kadite na pai matha, mane pai vyatha. I cannot withdraw my head. My mind is really overwhelmed and suffering. How can I give up service to Lord Ram? Shri Raghunath Charana Chadana Nayaye Tav Agya Bhang Hoye Ki Karo Upaye. I cannot give up service to Lord Ram, but I cannot even disobey your order. What to do? Please tell me, O my Lord. In this way, Mahaprabhu is telling, he was revealing to me his heart. When I heard this, I became so very happy. I embraced him. साधु साधु गुप्त तुम्हार सुदृढ़ भजन आमार वचने ह तुम्हार नाट लीला मन. Sadhu, sadhu, wonderful. All glories to you, Murari Gupta. All glories to your determined devotional service. Sadhu, sadhu, Gupta Tomar Sudrida Bhajan. You could not, your devotion did not shake by my words. यही मत सेवकेर प्रीति चाहे प्रभु आए प्रभु पाए प्रभु छाड़ाई लेह पद छाड़ा न आए. This should be the example of devotion. That is a devotion of a servant for his master. Even if the Lord wants to separate his devotee, the devotee never goes away. And Srila Prabhupada quotes beautiful verses from Chaitanya Caritamrta. से भक्त धन्य जना छाड़े प्रभु चरण से प्रभु धन्य जना छाड़े निज जन दुर्दैव सेवक यदि जायन्य स्थाने से प्रभु धन्य तारे चूले धरि आने. That Lord is so very wonderful who never leaves the devotee, and the devotee is so very fortunate he never leaves the Lord. Say bhakta dhanya and say prabhu dhanya. Even if the Lord tells go away, the devotee never leaves. And if somehow by some misfortune, if devotee leaves, what Lord does? Say Prabhu Dhanya Tare Chule Dharyane. He catches hold of the shikha of the devotee and pulls him back. Ashilishyava Padratam Pinashtumam Adarshanan Maramhatam Karotva Yathathava Vidhatu Lampato Mat Prananathastu Sayevana Param. Oh my Lord, you can embrace me or you can throw me away. Whatever you want, you can do with me. That is a devotee. এই মত তোমার নিষ্ঠা জানিবার তারে তোমারে আগ্রহ আমি করিলু বারে বারে I wanted to test your firm faith in your Lord. That's why I requested you again and again. We all will be tested by the Lord and by the devotees of the Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Sukdev Goswami tests Parikshit Maharaj 3 times. Interesting thing is, he is not even telling Parikshit that this is a test. Even in today's world, if somebody gives surprise test, when the test is given, the student knows that now I am getting a surprise test. But Parikshit was such a great student. Shukdev Goswami didn't tell at all that this is a test for you. And Parikshit still passed the test. In the beginning of the 6th canto, Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing the whole description of the hellish planets in the end of the 5th canto, he says, how will these people be delivered? What is the way out? Shukdev Goswami says, well, they'll do prayashchit. Parikshit says, what is the use of prayashchit? It is like elephant bathing, manne kunjara shauchavat. They will do prayashchit. Again, they'll do sinful activity. Shukdev Goswami says, well, okay, they can do jnana kanda. Says, no, it is like burning the forest of creepers. The roots are still intact. It will grow again. And then Shukdev Goswami says, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayana agham dhunvanti snena niharam eva bhaskara. Only by unalloyed devotional service can one be purified completely, just like when the sun rises, the fog is completely dissipated. Shukdev Goswami is testing the understanding of Siddhanta. Have you understood the Siddhanta? Or this is also do, ye bhi chalega, sab chalega. We will be tested. How well we have understood Siddhanta of Bhakti. Second time, Shukdev Goswami, in the end of the 9th canto, he summarizes entire Krishna Lila in just 2 verses. Parikshit Maharaj says, I wanted to hear 90 chapters, you are speaking only 2 verses. Don't think I am hungry and thirsty. Keep on speaking. Nivritta tarshay rupagiyamana bhavaushada shrotra manobhirama कह उत्तम श्लोक गुणानुवादा पुमान virajyeta vina pashugnath. Only an animal killer will give up listening the pastimes of Krishna. Don't think I'm troubled. Naesha ati dussahakshan mam tyaktodam abhibadate pibantam ton mukham bhoja chutam harikathamritam. I'm drinking the nectar of harikatha from your mouth. What will this hunger and thirst do? Shukdev Goswami was testing the eagerness of Parikshit Maharaj. And then the last test, even while leaving also, the last thing Shukdev Goswami said was glorification of jnana, not glorification of bhakti. Still, Parikshit Maharaj continued to practice bhakti only. He was testing the loyalty of Parikshit towards the path of bhakti. So the tests will come in the life of every devotee. We'll be tested for the knowledge of Siddhanta, eagerness to hear Harikatha, and our loyalty towards the path of bhakti. Supreme Lord is testing his intimate associate. He says, indeed, O Mukunda, O Murari Gupta, he's telling everyone, I congratulated Murari Gupta at that time that you are incarnation of Hanuman. So how can you leave service to Lord Ram? So therefore, saying this, Mahaprabhu says, I accepted Mukunda as my life and soul. So that is how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying all his wonderful devotees. We will stop here. We'll continue next time. Hare Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.